Yeah,
This
when
meeting is
when
being
Kitsy's
recorded.
when Kitsy's mom and dad, they retired to Sun City, and uh, when right after we were married, and we would go out there to see them, and they were old then. They were my almost 70, and so we went out there and we found out that the old people ate early in the afternoon, like at 4:30 or 5 or 5:30, and now we eat at 5:30, and
And they were 65. My dad had just retired. He was
Yeah.
65 and my mom
That's
was
old.
63.
That's old.
Oh
Does
my.
anybody else in the group wear a memory soul so you can remember why you walked in the room?
What? Oh, you're breaking up. Try it again.
Does anybody in the group wear memory souls so you can remember why you walked in the room?
yeah.
I needed those this morning several times.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, if you all got 2 Zoom reminders this morning, I sent the first one out like an hour before, and then I could not find it after that. It totally disappeared from my computer. And so I sent another one out, and I asked Kitsy to check hers, and she got them both. I still don't know what happened to that first one. So, but at any rate, it's we've started the recording, and we're going to get going. I want to especially thank all of you guys who are supporting the Grace Restoration Team, and I fully understand that not everybody's in a position where you can support that financially. Please don't feel badly about that or beat yourself up about it or anything at all. I know a lot of us are on fixed incomes, and we can't do that. So those of you who can, we appreciate that giving so much. And I want to tell you what's going on. And I know others of you pray, probably, hopefully all of you pray for that. So it doesn't make a difference whether you're giving or not, but just you're involved in it because you're involved with us. I want to tell you the immediate and ongoing results of your gifts. I want you to think about this. Every day this week and this month, every single day, because of a $3,000 gift that we gave just a few days ago, a single mom and her 2 boys, she is able to drive to work 60 miles round trip and to school. She's going to work and to school because you all made it possible for a $3,000 gift to major repairs on her car. We hope to find another car for her, but it turned out that we couldn't. But with those repairs, her car, even though it's got like 250,000 miles on it, it's a Toyota, it should be good for another year, and she won't have any car payments. So every day, I mean, just think about that. Every day she's able to go out and get in that car, take her kids to school, drive to work in another town, and come home. Every day, a single mom and her little daughter use appliances that you all provided in a $2,000 gift for her when she had to move. Every day, a single mom is staying in her apartment with all her bills paid for 3 months while she's waiting on disability. And then I want to share the screen with you for this. I haven't even told Kitsy about this, but I want to share this screen with you. Okay. Every single day, there are some orphans in Uganda who it's their rainy season there now. And I mean, it just rains all the time. None of them had coats. So, I mean, anytime they would go out of where they lived to the outhouse or anything else, they just would get soaking wet. And so they don't have any groups or churches or anybody supporting them. I'm friends with Dr. Bill and Dr. Faye Hanshu, who have World Bible School, and most of their students are from Africa. And I'm on their show pretty often. I'll be on it the next 3 Fridays coming up. But they posted a thing saying that none of these kids had coats, and they're the guy who leads who's their leader, their teacher, the only adult at their orphanage, he's been sleeping on the floor. He didn't have a cot. So they posted a thing for $250. Each one of these kids could get a coat, and we could provide a cot for the leader. So when I saw that post, I sent him that from the Grace Restoration Team. And so I want you guys to think, just every day, those guys they're going to have a coat to wear if they don't already have it. And the leader's going to be able to sleep on a cot. This is a slideshow that we got from Faye Hanshoe. And I didn't even tell her it was the Grace Restoration Team or whatever, that comes through the church account. The church's legal name is Heartland Community Church. And I don't know if you can read this or not, but thank you for providing funds to buy the coats for each of the children in this rainy season and a mattress for the director. I'll send you pictures as soon as they get them. You have no idea how much I and they appreciate you helping them. The orphanage had 27 children. Since I've known them, we've lost 2. They have 25 of the most beautiful and precious children I know. I talk to them sometimes by video. So I wanted you guys to be able to see that. And I encourage you to every day, when you're spending some time with the Lord or whatever, just think about there are 25 orphans in Uganda who have coats now, and their director has a cot to sleep on because of you guys. Whether or not you give financially to the Grace Restoration Team, we're all part of this together and make it possible. So, is that cool or what? I get goosebumps just thinking about it. So, also regarding our online ministry that you all make possible, I want to read to you a note that I got this week. This lady said, "I just wanted you to know how much we enjoy your Facebook page and podcast. I listen frequently, and I've shared with my sister, who's on the same page as we are. I especially enjoyed the one about St. Augustine and the doctrine of original sin. I've listened to this several times, hoping you're working on a new book. As my grandma used to say, keep on keeping on." Well, I love getting those notes. And regarding the new book, yesterday I sent the draft copy to our publisher. I've already heard back from him that he'll proof it and edit it and lay it out, and design the cover and everything. And it will be out in April. And we'll be able to give a copy of that to every single parent that we help, which will encourage them and possibly help them connect with one or more of our podcast guests from the last 300 episodes who lives maybe in their area. So you guys make all that possible, whether it's financially or whether it's your prayers or whether it's just your encouragement and support to me. God is partnering with all of us. So I really want to thank you for that. And one of the things that we show people in the new book is a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. We show them, and I do a couple of pages on 85 different people that I've interviewed, including some of you guys. Let's see. There's a couple of pages about JL, about Bob, about Sylvia, who I've interviewed in that. And one of the things that we point out in the book is that there is no eternal conscious torment in a place called hell, as many of us taught. Rather, we each have the ability to make hell in heaven or heaven in hell. And that's a phrase that Kitsy and I, and some of you all have learned from the conference we've been participating in with Mike Zinker on Thursday nights. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. I know some of you are watching that conference. There's one more week of it. There's like 25 videos available. You can join it you can actually join it for free or like $1 gift or something. There's a suggested thing of $50, but there's this wonderful teaching on forgiveness by Don Keithley and Andre Rabe and Brad Jerzak and Paul Anderson Walsh and Francois Dutoit. And I've got a couple of videos on it. It's just a wonderful thing. So I would encourage you. I sent you the link on that in the Zoom reminders and stuff. I'd encourage you to do that. Check it out. And one more Thursday night will be live streamed, but all of those videos are available, and we've been watching them all. They're really good. And we've been reminded in that conference that indeed we each have the ability to make hell heaven and heaven hell. I also want to thank you guys who read Luke 15 in advance and sent me your comments. One was from Bill Carpenter. I included it in your, he might join us later in your Zoom reminder a little while ago. So this morning, rather than read and teach clear through Luke 15, which we've done several times and recently too, I want to just give you some recent observations, and we'll have plenty of time to discuss throughout and at the end. Here's, and I'm going to send you these 8 observations when I send you the recording. My first observation: all the things that were lost in these 3 parables in Luke 15 belonged to begin with, and they never lost their value. And of course, that's true of me and you and everybody. You can't be lost until you first belonged, and we never lose our value. Second observation: Jesus often uses the analogy of sheep as people because sheep are defenseless. They're unable to live in the world on their own. Have you ever heard of a flock of wild sheep? I mean, we know about wild horses, wild pigs, wild goats, not wild sheep. They cannot live on their own. They are defenseless. And I want to show you another comparison to people and sheep. And I think this is another reason why Jesus uses the sheep thing. Did you know that sheep can die just from being suddenly scared or collectively being scared? It's called sheep worry. I have a friend who grew up on a ranch in southwestern Oklahoma, and they had sheep. And he said one time he snuck around the side of a barn. He knew there was a sheep coming around the corner, and he jumped out and yelled, and waved his arms, and the sheep fell over dead. I mean, he saw that happen. Well, I thought, okay, I'm not just going to take my friend's word for it because he tends to exaggerate. I can relate. So I Googled that, and I saw if you Google sheep worry, you'll come up with this thing. This happened just recently. A flock of 116 sheep died in United Kingdom. It's their worst case of sheep worrying in living memory. The sheep, many of them pregnant, had been herded into a tight group against a fence and a gate bordering the woods there. Well, somebody came by walking their dog, and their dog was very loud and jumped up on the fence, didn't get in it, but barked and tried to get through the fence. And Police Sergeant Tom Carter said there were no signs of the sheep being savaged, but they were 100% certain the deaths were caused by the dogs. This flock of sheep, 116 sheep, was worth about 17,000 pounds. And he went on to say, a sheep doesn't actually have to be savaged by a predator. They panic easily, and their instinct is to follow each other so they can die of shock or by being crushed, which what seems to have happened there. The likely culprit, he said, a dog that was out of control. They call it sheep worrying. Sergeant Carter said that the flock was last checked at lunchtime on Saturday or on Sunday, and the attack could have occurred anytime over the next 24 hours. He said it was a terrible sight. And he goes on to talk about that. Well, people are like that. We can worry ourselves into poor health. I mean, that's a proven thing. Certainly you guys know that. Worrying lowers your immunity. It affects all kinds of things. It can affect your health. And I think that's, again, why Jesus uses the analogy of sheep so much. All right, now I want to see if I can share one other thing here with you.